Welcome to a Culture Course production where we help you attract the top talent and create a company culture where your team can thrive. In this week's episode, we are going to talk about how to grow your current staff. How do you get the most out of them? How do you grow the talent once you've brought them in? That can be summed up with one word, and that word is affirmation. A HR company recently did a study that said, oh no, actually, this is not an HR company. This is Harvard Business Review. They said that optimistic employees outperform their peers by 66%. Optimistic employees outperform their peers by 66%. Affirmation, when you're affirming your team, when you're letting them know that they're doing it right, when you can create confidence within them, they're going to outperform their peers by 66%. Additionally, Harvard Business Review continues, additionally, confidence is one of the biggest commonalities among higher performing employees. So as they did all these studies, as they looked at all these things, they've seen and identified people that are performing at higher levels, and those that are performing at higher levels have confidence. And just from a personal standpoint, I totally believe this, not only from me being a business leader, providing affirmation and confidence to my team and literally seeing their abilities increase, but in my own personal walk, I played college basketball. It was a really small college, not that big of a deal. I wasn't even scholarshiped. I just went onto the team. And to be honest with you, I wasn't very good. I'm just a tall, goofy, gangly guy and did my best when I was out on the court. But when I first started out as a freshman and sophomore, I was terrible. I didn't play very well at all. And when I got on the court, I was more scared than anything else. I had zero confidence when crunch time was on. When the whistle blew, when it was time to get on the court, when I was asked to get in the game, I didn't have confidence and my performance was terrible. Now, my last year when I played, I had a different level of confidence. Things had changed. I got more familiar with things. I received different affirmations. I was practicing a lot. And that meant when I got onto the court, I thought differently about it. And I had more confidence. And as a result, I performed completely different. I performed a lot better. Confidence was that key thing. And the same thing for my team. I've hired people from all kinds of different places. I've hired former youth pastors who worked at churches, people who were grocery store clerks, these types of people, and put them in sales situations. And when they first started, because of the unfamiliarity with the job, there really wasn't a whole lot of confidence. But through affirming them, communicating them when they're doing things right, it helped them build that confidence. And now these guys are some of the top performers in the country. I mean, quite literally, one of them has top 20 in the state, and another one has a top 1% in the country award. I mean, these guys are great. And I know that a part of that is because they're confident. And the cool thing is, when the pressure is on, when we need our team to perform the best, affirmation, providing that confidence to them is going to help them perform when they need to, when you want them to perform most. This week's episode, again, is brought to you by Culture Course, culturecourse.com, an online course that's going to help you create a thriving team. Jean Klinkhammer is one of the students in that course, and he recently had gone through having someone on his team leave, and it hurt. Man, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but you pour into somebody and then they leave your team, and man, it feels like it was personal, and it hurts. And you kind of get disenchanted with growing your team or wanting to hire anybody else. Well, he took Culture Course, and it provided for him a renewed energy and excitement about the team that he had and pouring into them. And after going through the course, within just a few episodes, he implemented something right away and created an affirmation moment. He went to the office with some donuts and just said, hey, everybody come up. Here's some donuts. Here's some things. This is one of our goals and things that we're trying to do. You guys are doing it well. Here's how you're doing it well. And it was a big deal. So just little affirmation moments like that. Well done, Jean. Keep it up. Keep doing the things that you need to do as Culture Course teaches to make your team thrive. So here's the rebuttal. A lot of people are going to say, well, Grant, I don't want to coddle my employees. It's not my job to manage their emotions. I'm not about fluff. Look, I agree with that. Running a business and having employees isn't about gumdrops and rainbows and unicorns and Skittles. Okay, that's not what this is about. You can provide affirmation with doing more than saying, hey, you're doing a good job. You can provide affirmation and confidence even when you're communicating that they're doing something wrong, right? Because if they're doing something wrong and you tell them, hey, look, you're doing it this way, we need it to be done that way, that can provide for them confidence because now they know the right way of doing it. You could say, hey, look, you did the right thing when you tried executing it like this, but whenever you did this, it didn't necessarily work out, so let's adjust it by doing it this way. And then you watch and you wait and see how they respond to that, and then you can affirm them again by saying, hey, you adjusted, you did it great, well done. An affirmation needs to be done on the spot. Waiting for quarterly reviews to affirm people to say, here's your goals and here's how you did, waiting for every 90 days to affirm somebody is not wise. You need to make sure as a business owner, as a leader, you're affirming people all the time. Like quite literally, you should be scheduling at least once a week, if not once a day, time where you're walking around talking to your staff about the great things that they're doing. You should have a notepad, a note thing on your phone where you're writing down all the great things that people are doing as they're doing it, and just constantly be listening and looking for awesome stuff that your team is doing, or again, maybe even stuff that they need to do differently, and making those adjustments and affirmations on the spot. We are hardwired as individuals to want to know how we're doing when we're doing it. Immediate affirmations is the best type of affirmation. That's when the affirmation is going to have the most impact. So you got to be intentional about that. So this week's call to action is do what I just said. Schedule your affirmations. Schedule it. Literally put it into your calendar. Say, hey, on Mondays at this time and Wednesdays at this time and Fridays at this time, I am going to walk around the office and I'm going to affirm my employees. Or I'm going to send out emails or Slack messages or write handwritten notes. Do something to let your team know you're doing it right. Here's how you're doing it right. Keep on going. Give them the confidence and let them know that you're doing great. And it doesn't all have to be fluff and rainbows, gumdrops, and sugar candy, okay? You can do it with negative affirmations as well. You could say, hey, look, you tried doing it this way. Like the effort, you did it wrong. Let's try to do it this way next time. Affirmations, frequently, often, schedule it. Do it every single week. And if you can, every single day. And hopefully you'll build a habit to where you're just doing it naturally as you're walking around the office and engaging with your team and you're affirming them. Because when you do that, when you affirm your team, you're going to give them confidence. And when they have that confidence, they're going to grow in their abilities and they're going to perform at levels that you probably never thought they could perform at. Here's to having an awesome week, growing your team, and having a company culture that thrives. We'll see you next week.